Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Breakfast Epiphanies. You've heard of dinner and a show. Why doesn't breakfast get a show? And I have to talk to you about this. I saw my first ever Cybertruck in person, in the flesh. I was in the flesh. It was in the mall. And boy, was it out of place. It looked like it was designed by me. A man who understands that a car consists of tires, a box, and a way to get inside. I mean, as far as car culture goes, I've seen a few episodes of Top Gear, but they're the specials, like when they're going through Vietnam on the mopeds. I am essentially a child only able to identify Camaros, and that's because it's Bumblebee and Transformers. And even then, if it's not a yellow one, I have trouble. But even I can understand the desire to get behind the wheel of something so shiny, so curvy, so spiky. I don't know, some cars have spikes on them. And feel the roar of the engine. As you change the gears, I can drive stick. I got that going for me. I can drive stick. So I'm not a Porsche prude. I'm not the asexual equivalent of a car sexual. But I felt actively turned off by this giant sheet metal prism thing on tires. The outside is this dull metallic gray, like it's made of a fridge. I'd sooner believe this was made by Whirlpool or Frigidaire than Tesla. If it was done by Tesla, they snatched it out of the concept artist's hands before he was done with the skeleton of this thing. Now, there's nothing wrong with looking like the budget only allowed for 12 corners. This gives a car character, stuff that you can banter with your friends about. Even though I am not a car guy, I was around car folk, car people, and they always like to do that playful ribbing. Something like, behind every good Ford is a broken down Chevy. I thought the Ford was towing the Chevy, but it turns out they both broke down. The Ford just got a little bit further. It's a humble roast that takes everyone with it. But Cybertruck owners don't like those kind of jokes. And I don't think they understand that this takes away the validity of the car that you wish to be seen as a car. If you can't roast someone about their choice of vehicle, then it's not much of a vehicle. And I've already validated how it looks, but surely it looks that way for a reason. And it does. I don't know what material it's made of that forces it to come out that color. But whatever it is, it can stop bullets and withstand the combined kicking efforts of 4 pasty white guys. If you can't see right now, I'll describe the video I'm playing in vivid detail. There's 4 dudes right here, a bit off sync as they kick the Tesla truck. They are not can-can dancers by profession, but by their builds I can only assume they're librarians. The fella in the front has an interesting kicking technique. He seems to be axe kicking it overhead so he can hit the hood. Unfortunately, the strain is too much for his atrophied hamstring, and meanwhile the Cybertruck continues napping, undisturbed and unaware. In the bulletproof video, they are firing what seems to be a Tommy gun, so you are well covered if for some reason you end up back in time during the Prohibition era, getting shot at by old-school gangsters. And I like that about Tesla. They do their due diligence from highly likely to most unlikely. And you know what else I like? Going off-road. Not really, I just didn't have a better transition to this next bit when the Tesla owner's Silicon Valley Twitter tweeted out, "Cybertruck off-roading in Southern California. This truck is unreal. My daily driver can go off-road whenever I want." I like a car with a sense of adventure. And in this video, there's a light drizzle going on in this fierce, mild weather as the Cybertruck makes its way on this well-worn dirt path. I believe Eastern Europe has a lot of these. They're referred to as roads. He's off-roading on a road. To his credit, the real road is just a few meters off to the left, so he's road adjacent. But it is tricky territory, driven by only the most daring of Amish roadsters on wagons. Any other car would have been screaming for roadside assistance by now, especially when they hit that one puddle. And maybe this isn't a Cybertruck thing. Maybe it's just Californians being embarrassing. What with all that great road infrastructure, this is as daring as it gets around there. But the absolute pièce de résistance, the cherry on top, has got to be the Cybertent, an accessory that I didn't know existed. And it matches the aesthetic of the rest of the car, meaning it's made by someone who believes tents are essentially just fabric, some sticks, and a way to get inside. As described by an article on Fast Company, it is one step removed from covering a broken window pane with trash bags and 5 layers of Scotch tape, and for the privilege it will cost you $3,000. You'd think for that price they'd iron this out a little, get the wrinkles out. And honestly, it looks kinda cozy. How many trucks come with a hobbit hole? And it might come in handy as reportedly these trucks are bricking themselves just a few hundred miles or hours after being purchased. So we come back full circle. Yes, the Cybertruck might end up broken down on the side of the road, but it'll be among good company with all the other real cars, like the Chevy that broke down behind the Ford that also broke down. This has been episode 2 of Breakfast Epiphanies. I hope you're a fast chewer. If not, feel free to leave me an interesting question in the comments. Give me something to muse on while you get your chews on.